Hey everyone, what's going on? Daryl here on a beautiful sunny day outside the JCR shop. Felt like it was a great time to make a video to talk to you about the audio system in the Cherokee, kind of give you an idea of what you can do if you're looking to upgrade the audio system in your Jeep Cherokee. So let's get started. So the hard part about Cherokees is finding places for the speakers that sound good typically. The factory speakers were down here in the bottom of the doors. If you had the upgraded audio group, they had some tiny little tweeters that were basically worthless that went right here on these triangles. So if we want to fit a component speaker in here, we have to figure out where the tweeters are gonna go. So one place you can put them, and what you're seeing in a lot of new vehicles is you see tweeters in the dash firing against the window and then reflecting back to your head. That causes some kind of crazy resonance and stuff, but a lot of factory audio systems are tuned to deal with this. The other issue you're going to have in a Cherokee is, since they're so long, you have audio that's firing up into the windshield, back into the back hatch, back to your head. It creates these kind of crazy reflections. So if you do this like we did here, you definitely need a way to have some sort of sound processing. So that's kind of where Kicker comes in. So what they offer is they have what they call their key amplifier. I'll show you what is hidden down here underneath this. So this guy right here, the Kicker key amplifier, is 180 watt by 4 amplifier and sound processor. And the way this thing works is you give you a microphone, you close the doors, there's some test patterns that they do, and it automatically adapts the sound in your vehicle to where your speaker locations are. So you put the microphone, say, here on top of the driver headrest or in the passenger headrest or somewhere in the middle, and this key amplifier automatically does all the sound processing for you. So that's fantastic. So that lets us mount these tweeters up here in this dash panel. And I did this a long time ago, but I have a video of it, so I'll find that and I'll put that here. So tweeter there, fire against the windshield, 6.5 inch speakers down here in the doors. And I'll put a list of everything that I used in the description on this video, but 6.5 inch mids basically down in the door. And then we're running just the composite speaker from Kicker up here in the factory locations. So for a subwoofer, we have Kicker's TB loaded enclosure. This one has an 8-inch passive woofer with an 8-inch active woofer. Kind of an awesome little package there. Fits on the wheel well, kind of in the space the spare tire used to be. Doesn't take up a lot of room. Sounds really, really great. Super tight bass. Very accurate. For amplification on the subwoofer, we're running Kicker's monoblock. This is 500/1. This is the PXA series. I think this amp is actually discontinued, and it looks like they're offering a 500/1 key amplifier. So that means it's probably this amp with sound processing or bass sound processing. I haven't heard it, but I'm impressed with this one, so I'm sure that works fantastic as well. So check that out. I have this Kicker Key, this 4-channel amp. I'm bi-amping my front components. So 2 of the channels are going to the woofers, 2 of the channels are going to the tweeters. They're set up in that to do that. I think that's a perfect amount of power for those speakers. And then the rear speakers are just running off the deck. So this will set all of the sound profile for the front speakers, and then the rear speakers are just running off the deck. You can kind of tune that to what you like. You can just tune the balance out if you want, because most likely what you're gonna do is you're gonna run the front channel from your receiver, split it off. So this is only ran by the front channel of the receiver. You can see I've got some little Ys in there that need to get cleaned up. And then the rear amplified channels of the receiver are powering those Kicker speakers in the roof. So it sounds really great. Obviously it's not going to do me any good to show you what it sounds like on a video, but it works awesome. If you have an older Cherokee, you may have to do some modifications to fit a 6.5-inch speaker in your doors. 5.25 will fit great. Even with 6.5, you may have to re-drill the mounting holes because the mounting holes don't always line up to the factory locations. As far as the receiver, we've had this Alpine receiver in this car for forever. Anything works. It's nice if it has Bluetooth. The power doesn't really matter except for the fact that you're using it to run those rear speakers, but you're really just using those rear speakers for fill, so it's not a huge issue. So that's our audio setup on RealHawk. I think it really sounds fantastic. Plenty of power for windows down cruising on the highway. The sub isn't huge, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. It adds some really nice low end. I think that's really a great setup. I don't know if I'd try to do that windshield fired tweeter without some sort of sound processing. I think you're gonna get some really weird reflections, but that sound processing seems to take care of that perfectly, and it just sounds awesome. If you have any questions about this setup, just shoot us a message in the comments below, and we'll talk to you soon.